Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our third installment of Newcomers 101. I'm John Wedgeworth. We got several speakers that will come up and they'll introduce themselves as we go through here. One other that I'd like to introduce is Greg Jones, serves on the board of directors. Where's Greg? He's back here also. And we have Mike Johnson, right? He's the chairperson of the golf committee. So he does a really good job with the golf groups and leagues and all of that. So thank you guys for coming out. This is our third installment of our newcomers. Who's been to all three of them so far? Well, there we go. Okay, good. You don't want to miss next week. We've got the wastewater facility manager coming in next week to talk to us a little bit about what happens when you flush that toilet. It is truly amazing what happens with that process, but Bruce Evans does a fabulous job with that, and he'll be here next week, so that'll be an exciting one to get to. You might have heard the word grinder pump, so you certainly want to come out for that, so he'll guide us through that. Also, the newcomers here, has everyone taken the Welcome Home survey? Would you raise your hand if you have taken it? Oh, good. Very good. If you have not, I've got the link address back here. I'd like for you to take it after this and take the survey. It took me about 2 minutes, so you should be able to do it in about a minute. So it's pretty easy to take. So again, thanks for coming out today. I'm going to take just a couple of minutes, and then we're going to turn it over to the golf professionals. Again, as with every presentation, we're going to start out with a vision statement because it's not changed. And we'll continue to be a growing resort retirement community, and we'll be one of the best value master plan communities in the U.S. The mission statement is Fairfield Glade Community Club will continuously improve the resort lifestyle experience while fostering and promoting a strong sense of community. And I, as a member, and Greg, as a member of the board of directors, these are our guiding statements here. Every decision we make, we look at this to make sure we're following this. And then these core values here is really what drives our decisions on the board, especially number 4, provide a variety of high-quality amenities and services. And you'll see that today with our outstanding golf pros we have here in their program. So those are our core values. We'll go over those every time just because that's what we base our decisions on. The Welcome Home Survey, I mentioned that, so we'll run on through that. One of the questions we asked on there, I touched on it last week. I hope you can see that. If you can't, I'll run through it real quick. We asked you what amenities you would be involved with once you're here and you're active. You can see outdoor concerts is by far 75%. And then hiking trails where it's natural or the paved hiking trails are very high too. And golf continues to be high right there too. So that's what you're telling us when you get here, amenities that you will be involved in. I hope that's true. So anyway, we like to share those emerging trends, and we'll try to do that at every meeting as we go through it. Let's see here. Again, this is the schedule. I have some hard copies here if somebody would like some. Before we go, next week will be the wastewater. The week after that, we're going to take off. We'll have the community maintenance and marinas. Any question you ever have about roads or any of our facilities, the marinas, anything, we'll answer them that day. And then the 16th, we're going to take off for the J Hoot concert. Mayor Joe Page back here, our director of marketing, has guaranteed perfect weather for that concert. Right, Mayor Joe? Yes. So we're counting on that, Mary Jo. So, and then we'll finish up. It goes all the way through October the 18th. We hope you'll come back and sign up and go through all of those programs with us so you can learn more about our beautiful community here in Fairfield Glade. I talked to one couple that came in that's been here 2 weeks. Did I hear that? 2 weeks? Anybody here been here less than that, newcomers? Okay, well, 2 weeks, pretty good. So thank you for coming out. Jeff, I'm going to let you come up and we'll exchange computers here.
Welcome, everybody. While Raj gets this hooked up, we have a little presentation where we have some pictures and things that the golf courses and everything is sort of something we like to do when we give a speech in front of people. Is we give a little history and everything. So give us just 1 minute here to get it hooked up. While we're doing this, Mike Johnson is our chairperson of our golf committee. Mike, you want to come up and say a few words about the golf committee while Raj is getting hooked up?
During the summer on Wednesdays, there's an event called Shootout with the Pros. It's a shotgun. And you'll find yourself playing from places in the golf course you didn't know exist, because these guys can really hit the ball a long way. The other thing, depending on what kind of golf league you want to be in, we have them for everything from just relaxed, you don't keep score, to as competitive as you want to get. You can contact me, any of the golf pros, and on the website, you'll see a list of both men's and women's golf leagues, and contact people to get involved. So you've got everything that you want here. I've been here 10 years and I've never looked back. Love this place to death, and I hope you will too.
Thank you, Michael. We're still working on our computer system here. We tested it out earlier, so I have great faith. So before we get started, I didn't really know that Mary Jo was in charge of weather, but that is a great thing.
Hey, how are you today?
So everybody asks us at every golf tournament who's in charge of the weather, and now I know I'm going to send them to Mary Jo. So Raj Jones is our head professional at Druid Hills. He'll be running the presentation here of the computer. If you didn't know, if you've not met Raj before, he's been with us for 20 years. He is an excellent golf professional. He is a flat expert in the GEN system. So if you ever have any questions, don't understand the handicap system, Raj is at Druid. He will. You may still not understand it, but he will tell you what's right and what's wrong with it when you get done with it. So what we're going to do is we got our introduction with Greg and Mike and Mr. Wedgeworth. We're going to do our presentation on the golf courses, a little website information. That is our communication portal that we do all things golf on the website. Central Tee Time, if you ever want to know how to make a tee time, what all the rules are as far as that goes, what the hours of operation, the clinics that we have, where to join the leagues and the groups, any tournament information, employment opportunities. Yes, we do hire people, and we need people to work at the golf courses in a lot of different places. And then we got question and answer, but at any point during this, if you have a question on something, please just speak up, raise your hand, and we will answer them to the best of our ability or get back with you.
Hey, Jeff, I got a microphone. It might be easier for him to ask a question.
Okay.
So everybody can hear you.
I just wanted to know if I could take pictures of the screen as you go along.
100%.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Reg, you ready? So what we have is we have 4 facilities, 90 holes of golf, and we'll go through our golf courses. So one of our courses at Heatherhurst is our 36-hole facility, and this is just going to be pictures of the golf course. So back in the day, I heard one of the gentlemen say they've been coming a long time to Fairfield, probably through Wyndham, through all the timeshare things. The Crag course was our Pine course back in 1989, and then when we built the last 9 in 1999, we formed the Crag course. And then, so the next slide, Raj, this is number 10. This was the first hole of the newest 9 that we built in 1999. So you can see that through there. So Crag number 15. So a pretty picture of that. And this is really probably our signature hole of the Crag is number 17. I like this slide because it shows the pine tree that got taken down by some wind. There used to be a pine tree sitting on top of that rock. If you play that hole and you look up, you'll see still the stump is still there. Everybody used to love that pine, but Mother Nature took it down. So our other course on the Heatherhurst is our Brae course. It started out, we built the back 9 of the Brae in 1998. It was called the Mountain Course at the time, and we paired it up with the front 9. The number 1 hole was the Creek course in 1991. So when we started our 36-hole facility in 99, the Brae course was the pairing up of the Creek and the Mountain courses. We did a little name contest and came up with the Brae and came up the Crag, some old English, Scottish terms, and man, they fit in fantastic. Number 10 of the Brae is probably, we got several signature holes, in my opinion, on the Brae. Number 4 for the pure aggravation of the hole would be a signature hole, but as far as the beauty of everything goes, I think number 10 of the Brae with Lake Dartmoor in the background and that pretty view, one of the best shots in all of Fairfield. Not many people get to try to do it, but if you ever lay up way down the right side and get over to that green, that's going to reach up to be a beautiful par 3. But the Brae is our zoysia grass fairways. If you ever notice, this is its time of year. When the zoysia comes out and it gets hot, the zoysia is fantastic. We did that project. We had trouble growing grass on the Brae, these 9-hole fairways. We did a couple of trial plots back in the early 2000s and late 90s and early 2000s with zoysia grass. We ended up putting the whole Brae in zoysia, and it's been a great grass for us in the summertime since then. Number 13 is a par 3. We lovingly refer to that big old bunker as the tourist bunker because it's so huge. So this is part of our history program. One of the things we did in 2016 is we put a short game area in where there was a lot of trees and stuff. So go ahead to the next slide, Raj. So this is the chipping and putting green that you know. Now go backwards. That is what we took this area that we couldn't see through the staging area to number 1 tee, and we took these trees out and turned it into a great chipping area. And what we're probably most proud of is when you go down there today, it looks like it was built that way. You would never know that it was that for probably 20 something years, and then we put in that, and it's been very well received. People love to practice down there. They did before, but it's just an added practice short game area for people. So that is the Heatherhurst in our bunker project. In 2019, 2020, we put in the Better Billy bunker project. We'd already done it at Stonehenge. We'll have some slides on that. But we did it on both courses at the Crag and the Brae in 2019, 2020. I think all total it was around 60 bunkers on both the courses. On Stonehenge it was 65, but these bunkers was so much bigger that the square footage was pretty much the same of both. You can see this bunker where they filled up with water, and Raj will keep rolling through here. The process of the Better Billy bunkers, we took all of the drainage out, made sure that the drains worked exterior and interior. This rock that you see here is what was filled in the bottom of the bunker. Then they spray a polymer on top of that, and it lets the water go through the rock to the drain. So you can see the guys going through, leveling out, and spraying this polymer. That's what makes this such a unique deal. The water will flow through that to the drains, and the sand does not wash. It works fantastic. So this is a couple of bunkers that have been presented. This is also 10, a couple of bunkers that had been prepared for the spray. Then the other one on the left-hand side is one that hadn't been done yet. And then once it was, bless you, once it was over with, this is number 5 of the Crag. You can see how nice it saves the maintenance staff a ton of time. When we had our rains last week or so, we do no work on the bunkers. At Stonehenge, we had to do a little work at Stonehenge because we had the 4 inches of rain in about an hour the last week. So we had to go in and push a little bit of bunkers, but Heatherhurst had zero work to their bunkers. So the next one, this is a picture in 2014, I believe, or 13, of the Dorchester Pro Shop. That was an old Oak Knoll timeshare unit that was for 20-something years was the Dorchester Pro Shop. So it was originally the salesman would come down and show this as a selling point for the Oak Knoll timeshares, but it also doubled as the Dorchester Pro Shop. So this is the next slide is the new Dorchester Pro Shop as when you go down there. So a fabulous slide of building up the community, building up the golf program, and reworking that. See that one more time, Raj. That's always unique. What we went from to the new building. So, and that looks like an artist rendition. That is not. The gentleman I took the place for, Steve Kraft, was our golf director for 12 years, and he was an expert photographer, has a drone, and all these pictures is pictures that Steve did for us. But that's a fabulous picture of the new clubhouse. So keep rolling through Dorchester. Number 1 at Dorchester, one of the hardest starting holes that you will ever play in golf. They wouldn't build them like that today. Number 13 at Dorchester, a beautiful par 3 down the hill, as you can see in the fall of the year. Number 14 to Dorchester, done a lot of work to that. We cleaned that out a lot, took a lot of the stuff out, tried to open that up more. Okay, so Stonehenge is our next facility. This is number 14 at Stonehenge. The look from the top down to the bottom to Lake Dartmoor. Probably our most photographed hole. Number 15, the par 5. Number 18, you can see the waterfall there. Stonehenge was opened in 1985, and when it was opened, I think it was the number 1 resort course maybe in the country at that time, but it is extremely well known. It's been the first, second, third, fourth of the best courses that you can play list. It's on it every single year. It was designed by Joe Lee. Joe Lee was a renowned architect that has since passed away, but he did golf courses all over the world. And big bunkering, Stonehenge is just different. The bunkers come into play on every single hole. The greens are smaller. We host the parent-child tournament there. We host the Tennessee Senior Open at Stonehenge, and we just finished up the Tennessee Women's Open for our 12th year in a row. The players love it. The golf course is in great condition, and it's one of the only courses that has bent grass, tees, fairways, and greens. That was the sort of the dig on Stonehenge back in the day. It was all bent grass. If you've been coming for a long time, you know it used to be wet. It used to only be cart path only. We purchased Stonehenge in 2008. Since then, we put a lot of money in the bunkering. You'll see our bunker project. We put a lot of money in top dress and the fairways and everything. And so we run carts as much at Stonehenge as we do the other golf courses, and it is very popular amongst the residents, the timeshare, the golf package, and the out-of-town guest. The next slide, Raj had a preview. In 2018-19, we built a new maintenance facility. You'll see a couple of pictures of our old facility that was beside to the right of number 18 tee box. Go back one more, Raj. So this all, when it rained, the water ran into the building. You could not have redone it. The chemical storage room was here. It was about the size of a nice broom closet. We had to put all of our equipment outside. You see this was all fertilizer that we stored outside. And so during that winter time, we had a process to put in a new 10,000 square foot maintenance facility. Raj will have a few slides here of all the work that we had to do that. There is our crater in the ground. There's the facility, and I think we got one more. So it's a beautiful maintenance facility now, houses all of our equipment. It's just a fantastic addition to the maintenance. When we will be in season around 20 to 25 people strong in a maintenance building. The break room at the other building would hold about 6 people. And so it was really a great addition, and it just shows that the board of directors has always been very supportive of golf, and we try to hit everything, golfers and the employees and everything, to try to build up the golf division. So what we got next, Raz? Our bunker project. All right. So where the Heatherhurst bunkers would not drain, the Stonehenge bunkers would not drain. And they were full of rocks. People, it was not uncommon for a golfer to come in and hand me 3 or 4 rocks that he had gotten out of a bunker just because they were just in such bad shape. So we did, here's again another, this was where the Heatherhurst project was a lot of, the bunker project, this was a lot of renovation because as you can see, we did a lot of sodding around the green complexes, and I think that has really improved the golf course over the years, but over the last 2 or 3 years. But you can see the zoysia around the green bank, this grass, and you'll notice it in the spring of the year where the grass is brown. We put zoysia around it. The reason you do that is so that the dirt holds, and that grass doesn't grow very fast, and you can really maintain it better, and the heat of the summer will not kill it, and you'll have a good golf course throughout the year. Okay, our oldest facility, and born in 1970 to 1972, is our Druid Hills facility. But don't sleep on Druid Hills, because it has been in fantastic shape the last 3 or 4 years, and people have really enjoyed playing Druid. It's been great shape. So that's number 4. Number 10, a lot of sneaky great views if you just give yourself time to enjoy them around Druid. Number 14, we put that waterfall in. And I think it was 16. We went in and put a couple of ponds up here, and we put the waterfall in. And the reason we wanted to do that is we wanted to make it memorable. We wanted to give it more of a signature hole so that when people play Druid Hills, they wanted to go back and play Druid Hills again. Everybody, we play golf courses, and you may not want to play it for all 18 holes, but you'd like to give that 1 or 2 holes another chance. And that's why we do things like that around the golf courses, is to build them up so people want to play them. And be honest, I'm pretty selfish. I'd rather you play here as go to other places in the county to play. So that's why we do things like that. It's been great. So one of our last slides here is our Druid Hills Clubhouse. We're starting in the planning process, which Greg is our chairperson for this committee, and we've got plans for this. You all, being members, will have a chance to input into that. So we just laid that slide out, and so that's what's coming. We don't know what it's going to be, but we're certainly going to take our time and get input from everybody to see what it is. So that's that. So, anybody got any questions on the golf or anything, the golf courses? Yes, sir.
Do you have driving ranges at each of the courses?
We do. We have driving ranges at each of the courses. Stonehenge has a chipping putting green there. All the golf courses are going to have putting green, practice greens. Stonehenge has a chipping putting green. Heatherhurst has a chipping and putting green that we showed. Dorchester has a little bunker and a green beside that, and Druid Hills has a bunker beside. So all of them have driving ranges. Yeah, good question.
Just what was the name of the designer for Stonehenge?
Joe Lee was it. Yep. Any more?
Hey, Jeff, you might tell them the winter schedule, what courses are open or closed in the winter times.
Well, we generally close down, the Brae course will close down because of the Zoysia, it gets wet and we just really don't need it and we let it rest. So last winter, we just used Druid and Dorchester. We're still working on our winter schedule. I think it's pretty safe to say Druid and Dorchester will be, two of them will be open. We may have Stonehenge open as needed. The Crag course is still up in the air as far as what we're doing down there this winter time. But we generally keep two courses open, and as we need it, we'll have the third one as the overflow goes and stuff. So what we have here is our website. So www.fairfieldgladeresort.com. This is where all things golf happen. So on the golf link to this, we will have all the information, the golf courses, tournaments, everything on there. We update it almost daily. Raj, have you put anything on there today? Yes, we will do it almost daily. Shoot out with the pros, sign up for golf tournaments, entry forms for golf tournaments, information list. It is 24/7 after we finish a golf tournament. Before we go home, we put the results on the website. So it is anything you want to do for golf is on our website. You can also download the app, have it on your phone, and you can look at it just like that. I think the app is, when I downloaded mine, I had to have one of the girls here help me, but it was the Fairfield Glade app, right, Mary Jo? And it was easy to find, easy to do, and it's very handy to have. So that's our golf. So here's the page that you'll roll into. As you can see, when you pull up any of the individual courses, you'll see some pictures. You'll also see the scorecards. There's a webcam at Dorchester that's on there. Our Cragnet simulator, our staff, we're all on there with information on how to get a hold of us, which that is very unique in the golf professional business, I'll tell you that. Our calendar of events is on there, our rates, our tournaments, our golf packages, tee times. We just have a ton of good information on that website. So Central Tee Time Office, if you want to make tee times, if you're in a league, and we'll get to that in a minute on the next thing, we book our league tee times out 6 months in advance. But if you want to play golf as a resident, you can call 7 days in advance. Central Tee Time is the number that you call. It's open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. in season, which we call in season, April through October. The other season, it closes at 3:30. So you'd call Central Tee Time and just tell them you want to make a tee time for one of the golf courses, and the ladies there are fantastic. Dawn does a wonderful job, and they will help you out. They'll pair you up if you want to do that, and looking for somebody to play with, they'll look for singles or twosomes. We are one of the few communities, golf courses, that doesn't have online booking yet. I've looked into it, but I will tell you this, a long time ago, people got into the Golf Now fad, and they wishes they were out of it. The bartering system and things like that, and we've done a great job of not getting into that, and I still like to be able to call up and talk to somebody instead of talking to a computer. And that's one of the main reasons that we still do that. It's personable. They give great service, and just like the way that it works at Central Tee Time. Go ahead, Reg. So clinics and golf lessons. I had a question for somebody that was in the hallway a few minutes ago. We do golf clinics Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You'll see they're at each different course. They're all at 10 o'clock. You would call up to the pro shop and sign up for the clinic. You can see Monday is Full Swing Woods at Stonehenge. Go down the irons, basic fundamentals at Druid Hills, and then the short game is at Heatherhurst. These are $20. It is a great way to get started if you've never played golf before, or if you're new to the community and don't know who that you'd want to take a lesson from. Golf lessons are a lot about communication. You can have the same people tell you the same thing, and one person will get will make it sound different than the other one. So I like to tell people, go see the different pros and see who you communicate the best with. And then if you want to move on to taking a series of lessons or a private lesson, you can see that at the top what the price is. And it's just, the clinics are a great way to get started with golf if you're a beginner or really you just new. Go ahead, Radley. We have a TrackMan machine. It's in this building. It's right across the hallway. We do give lessons on the TrackMan inside, and they're also a simulator. It has a number of golf courses, St. Andrews, Pebble Beach. It has a lot of great golf courses. It's fun if you're beginning or you have your family come in, it's raining, you want to come in, enjoy swinging. We got clubs over there. You can use those clubs or you can bring your own clubs. Always felt funny to me to get my clubs out of the car and walk into a building, but you sort of get over that the first couple of times you do it. And so the TrackMan is really a lot of fun. You would call to make a booking the same way as you do golf. So you'd call 7 days in advance to book it, or on the day of play. I failed to mention that you would call the courses individually. If you wanted to book the TrackMan, you would call the CCC front desk, and they would book it individually there. Okay, leagues and group information. So on the website, under league information at the bottom, Raj has got a big arrow to that. We have a list of the names of leagues that are looking for people and everything each day. The really important thing is if you don't really know, send me an email. I am 100% on getting people hooked up with a group. And I'll ask you a few questions. Do you like playing for money? Do you like kicking your ball out of bounds, in bounds, things like that? The most important thing is to get you comfortable with who you're playing golf with. And so that's what I try to do, is because you're not going to want to play 7 days a week, but you might want to play Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and kick in a Sunday afternoon sometimes. And so that's what we try to do, is try to get people with that. The groups, Mike runs a couple of groups. They have regulars and they have subs, and they're of equal value because the regulars go on vacation and they need the subs to fill in. Your neighbors will be playing golf, and before you know it, they'll be calling you to play every day of the week. So our tournaments, we're proud of this. We have a very, very active tournament schedule, and we try to make the tournaments fit about every level of player. We have, as you can see there, I don't think it'll roll through it, but we have a couples invitational that we do around Mother's Day. We have an alternate shot that we do in April. We call that the Divorce Open. We have a match play championship monthly. Mike mentioned it. We do a shootout with the pros. I think we're in our 13th or 14th year of that. You sign up on the website. There's a link under the shootout with the pros. It takes you straight to it. You get paired up with one of the golf professionals, the last Wednesday of the month or the next last Wednesday, and we play scramble, and we have a blast. We play sixums. I think last month we had to play 7. We play in 4 hours and 15 minutes. We shoot 17, 18 under. We throw a little money in, and we have a blast. And you rotate around what pros you play with. You meet people that you wouldn't normally meet. You watch Raj hit it 340 over 2 houses and everything. So I mean, and you get to know the pros, and it's really a cool series. Club championship, everything. So we have individual tournaments. We have our first tournament of the year is called the Chili Open. It is in January, but that's not why. They serve you chili when you get done. So that our tournament schedule, if you like tournaments, this is the place to look for it. Last thing, I don't know if we have a slide on that, but we talked about employees. We have inside behind the counter. If you like computers, you like money, people, we have that. We have a starter ranger where they work 2 days a week mostly. People person where you're dealing with the starting of the people, rangering them around the golf course. We have cart guys. I always say the carts are the best job because they don't talk back. So all you got to do, if you're a cart guy, you got to be able to count to 72. So you got to make sure you got 72 cars in the barn when you get done with the day. On the maintenance crews, we mow the greens. If you're a 5:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning person, want to work 2 or 3 hours, we desperately need people that want to change cups, mow, things like that. So those are the type of jobs, employment. You would go on the Fairfield Glade website. There's a little link there that says careers, the jobs that are open. There's jobs in Mary Jo's area. I know Mary Jo always needs people. Food and beverage needs people. We don't care where you work as long as you're happy with what you're doing. There was a slide that John had up here, and it had all the different things to do in the community. That should be 100%. You should walk on the trails, play pickleball, just try it all. I mean, it doesn't, you don't have to be doing one thing or the other. Play in a card group, just have a great time. You moved here for a reason, to have a good time, and there's things here for you to do. Yes, sir.
Is there a reason you don't have a map of the courses on the campus?
You know, we've had those in the past at Heatherhurst with the roads and stuff, and we just, with the filling in of the space and things, we just don't have, you know, we just go from hole to hole. You know, we don't really have that.
Those are some pretty lengthy tasks.
Yeah. We did it one time at Heatherhurst, but I don't think we've ever had it at Druid Hills or other places. Yeah. Good question, though. Yes, sir.
Regarding the tee times, so you say you can book out 7 days. Let's say I'm coming back to the house and the golf course is pretty empty, you're driving through the back of the Brae there.
Yeah.
I just call the tee time and say, hey, you got a tee time here, 20 minutes.
On the day of play, you call the pro shops directly. So at 4 o'clock in the evening, the pro shops take over the tee sheet. They'll print them off, and then they'll write in the tee times for the next day. And then Central Tee Time works out their 7 days. So on the day of play that you'd want to play, you'd call the pro shop directly. You just call them. Good question.
Other questions?
You'll have to excuse the way I walk because my back is a testament about how thick the rough can be on the Brae. But there's a couple things that I think are important, as you being new residents here should know. The association owns all the golf courses, which in many communities like ours is not always the case. And as of April of next year, you probably heard this from others in the financials, but I'll make the statement here too, is that we'll be debt-free. And that means that all the improvements and everything that we've done to the courses and things like that, it's been pay-as-you-go. And you don't see that in a lot of other communities. So the nice thing about that, what it really means is that your long-term wanting to play here means that that's probably going to be a real thing. So it's really a testament to all the residents here of being able to see the value of these courses. And you're going to see the other amenities too, and I'm not poo-pooing those because I work with a couple others myself. But the thing is that these golf courses are high quality. Now, I told Jeff I was in one league that one week we play here in Fairfield, the next week we travel. And he said, well, you know, I really don't mind you traveling all that much because you appreciate what you have here, and that's really true. You'll find that when you go out and you play a lot of courses that, you'll see a lot of courses, but you'll see very few, if any, that will match the quality of the courses here. And the courses are very different, and you should try each one of them. And for those of you that maybe are into the hiking and trails and things like that during the winter, we let people walk the courses on the paved paths. So you get a real good chance we see it as almost marketing because it gives us the opportunity to turn trail people into golfers before they know it, because they want to get back out there when the weather's really nice. But you'll enjoy everything here, I can promise you that. And the staff will be very, very helpful. Central tee time's extremely helpful, and I do like the personal touch because a lot of times when I'll call, I don't know which course I want to play. But it depends on the time, and by the time that the people that work there take me through it, I've got my foursome all set up, and it's pretty doggone easy. So one other note I'll put in, and Jeff said it, is we are looking at what we're going to do over in Druid. That building has served us for a fine time for 50 years. You'll hear rumors, all kinds of things about what's going to happen over there. We don't know. We don't know if it's going to be a new building. We don't know if it'll be a remodeled building. But what we do know is we want people involved in what that building and that area is going to be going forward. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity for you to get involved and to let your thoughts known, because what we really want is not what this committee that's formed to help do the planning, that we're happy with it. We want the community happy with it. So I'll turn it on over to John.
Any other golf questions? Now's your time. We're going to hang around after the presentation if you want to ask us some questions, not about golf, or if you have a sort of question about from the board of directors' point of view or anything like that, feel free to ask us. Also failed to mention Jared Kirby over here is doing the video for us. Thank you, Jared. Hopefully within a week or so, we're going to have all of our presentations online that you can go in and look at also. So Jared and that team's working on that. So thank you, Jared, for being here. This is a third session. Next week we'll do our fourth at the same time. We'll be talking about the sewer facilities here in Fairfield Glade. Any other questions? I have some handouts back here with contact information, the remaining schedule for the rest of the year, and also if you've not taken the Welcome Home Survey, would you please come back here and get the link so you can take that for us? Question?
Do you have to have an established handicap in order to sub here?
Some of the leagues require you to have a handicap, and we promote that. We promote everybody having a handicap and posting their scores, because when you play whether you play in the shootout or the tournaments, we require you to have a gin handicap. So it's a good thing to do. It starts January 1st. We start taking fees for that probably sometime in December. Radge activates you, then we deactivate you at the end of the year. So it's on usually January 1st to December 31st schedule.
But many of the leagues also have a way of giving you a temporary handicap for your first 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So don't let that be a barrier to you. Talk to the league that you're thinking about getting in. Say, hey, I'm brand new. I don't have an established handicap yet. And most of them will work with you with something.
Yeah. How many people's in the league? Yeah. Anybody looking for anything now? Comfortable? If you do, just give me a shout, or like I said, look on the website. So,
Any other questions? If not, we'll be here. If you have additional questions about anything that's going on in Fairfield Glade, we could probably answer that from a board.
Thank you all
Thank
very
you all
much.
for coming out. Thank you very much.